Hey everyone, this is Chris at Realridesharestories, and today I'm going to talk to you about three of the drunkest stories that I have so far. So yeah, today I'm going to tell you about three of the drunkest stories that I've had while driving for Uber and Lyft. The first one was I was picking up a woman from a bar, completely obliterated. She actually had a friend order her ride, and the whole entire ride, she was just saying obscene things like "F this place," "I can't stand it here," and I'm just thinking to myself, if you keep saying that, why are you still living there? Like, she lived there her whole life, because we did get some conversation in. She did live there her whole life. She was older too. She's probably close to 50. So it's not like she was just out of college or anything like that, where she could just start her whole life. But she was there for quite a bit of her life. And just saying, "F this place, I can't stand it, people here are so fake." And it's just crazy. And the funny thing was, she was talking to herself at this point. She wasn't talking to me. She was just mumbling it under her breath, but I could hear it. And it was just like, what are you doing? But yeah, who knows? So the second story that I have of somebody that was really drunk, this wasn't anything that they did in the car or in the ride. It was just them being really, really wasted. And it's partially a PSA as well. But it was two women that were in the vehicle that I picked up, picking up from the bar, taking them both back to their houses. So it was a multi-stop. But the two women, the one that was in my passenger seat was the real drunk one, and the one who was behind her was probably not even buzzed. And the crazy thing was, we were talking, and she was saying that this girl was so drunk and she didn't understand why, because she had the same amount of alcohol that the other one had, and she wasn't even feeling buzzed. And this one was like falling over drunk. She passed out. She passed out, like almost falling asleep on my head. Then her friend picked her up and put her onto the door. But I mean, she was out of it and gone. And so the conclusion that we came up with was that she probably got drugged. And so this actually makes that top story, because the one thing I want to say is, always be careful of your drinks. Watch it when they're being made. Watch when you have them. Don't leave them unattended. None of that. You don't want somebody to drug you and anything to happen. Luckily, she had her friend there and took care of her, and they did the smart thing by getting an Uber and not going or driving home, because don't drink and drive, and just make sure you're safe. Always be with a friend, and always watch your drinks, because you never know what could happen. So yeah, like I said, we came to that conclusion because she was just falling over wasted. And her friend said that she was not having, she didn't have that many drinks, that they had the same amount. And from what they said, it really wasn't that much. I think it was like 4 drinks over like a 3-hour period. So to have somebody falling over like that had to have been some type of drug in the drink. So again, PSA, just always watch your drinks. Always make sure that you're with friends or anything like that, because you never know, and you don't want anything to happen. And the drunkest story that I have, it was a Monday night, and 3 people got into the car. One was falling over wasted drunk. It started off okay, where everybody was kind of just having a good time. She was just quiet. The other two were talking, having a good time still. Somebody asked her a question which just triggered her. So she started getting louder and louder and louder. And luckily this was a short ride. It was like 6 minutes. And she just kept getting louder and louder to the point where she was screaming at the top of her lungs inside my vehicle. And she's screaming at the top of her lungs for like the last minute. And I can take quite a bit. I don't have that much of a problem with like dealing with drunk people, considering I do this at night and a lot of the people are drunk, especially on the weekends. So it takes me a lot to like get pushed over. And it was about a minute away, so it was to the point where it was like, all right, I'll get you to the spot, but if it was any further, I probably would have pulled over and said, you need to get out and sober up or something, because it was just that bad. And so we finished the ride, and again, she's still screaming at the top of her lungs, and you could tell that this was going to turn bad quick. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. One of the persons in that ride was like apologizing, saying really, really sorry. And during this time, I'm like, she's going to get really physical really soon, or something bad's going to happen. And sure as hell, they're walking up the driveway and she starts smacking the other person for no reason whatsoever, and just absolutely being obscene and just ridiculous. I wish I had the dash camera footage for that, but this was before I had a dash cam. And I mean, just saying the words can't even put it into what was going on and what kind of crazy things were happening. But yeah, it was to the point where she was just screaming, and you knew it was going to go bad quick. And she started getting physical and slapping the other person, and all they could do was just take her inside, and hopefully she passed out quick. But at that point, I don't know. So I'm going to give you a bonus story, because I do have a lot of drunk stories since I mostly do it at night. So the bonus story is that I picked up 3 guys from Allentown, which is a bar district in city of Buffalo, and they were drunk. The one that was sitting in the passenger seat was pretty coherent. We were talking back and forth pretty much the whole ride, but the other 2 in the back were the ones who were making this more memorable. So the one guy started punching the other guy in the arm multiple times, and then the other guy was getting pissed off and started throwing punches back at him in the arm. And I mean, these weren't like just little things. They were full on like punches, to the point where I'm sure that they both woke up in the morning with bruises on their arm. I couldn't tell you why they were doing this or what the reason was, besides the fact that they were just being stupid and drunk. So it was just kind of memorable because it was so random and so weird that they were even doing that and just letting it happen. If it started getting out of control, I would have pulled the car over and told them to get out, sober up, and ended the ride at that point. But nothing really happened that was too crazy, or that I felt that things were going to go in a weird or bad direction. So in that aspect, it really wasn't too bad. It was just, like I said, really weird. Like, why the hell are you punching somebody? What's the point? Those are the 3 drunkest stories that I have that are the most memorable, as well as the bonus one. There are plenty that I have, and plenty more that'll happen. But the good news is you'll be able to see them as they actually happen. Thank you to the dash cam. So with that being said, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for notifications for all our upcoming videos. Make sure to like, share, and comment below. And we'll see you next time on Real Rideshare Stories.